Welcome to Active Living at the Active Life. I'm Dan Wooten, your host to this 30-minute program once a month. We're here in the media room of the Active Life where so much activities go on. Not only 14 computers, but we have medical screenings and groups that come and meet here. This is our multi-purpose room. But today we're going to be looking at a number of topics relating to the active life. So I want you to stay tuned. Don't miss out. There's so much valuable information waiting for you. I'd like to welcome John Bradley to the show. John is one of the fantastic art students in the oil painting class that's held on Tuesdays and Friday afternoons. John, what do you enjoy about oil painting? And first of all, when did you start oil painting?
I only started oil painting since this past January. I would have liked to have started oils, but I didn't, so I originally was doing watercolor, but I'm not really very professional in that aspect.
Now, I can tell from your accent you're not from around here. Where are you from, John?
Originally from Northern Ireland, but prior to being in LaGrange, we were at Pickens County, up in Pickens County. And when we moved down here, we found this place, liked it, and I don't think there's anywhere else in Georgia you could find such facilities as this for retirees.
Wow, well, I'm so glad you found it. Now, what do you get out of oil painting, John? What do you appreciate about the process that you go through to?
Well, you can express yourself through it, but the difference between oil and watercolor is if you make an error, you can always cover it up. Just like putting another coat of paint on the wall.
That's great. And is it relaxing, or what drives you to continue to?
It is relaxing. Once you get, I try when I come in here. I come in the afternoon, and in the mornings, I don't try to get too active because I don't want too much buzzing through my head. And so it is a winding down process coming in here.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad you found the active life and are enjoying the oil painting class.
Very much so. We enjoyed everything that goes on here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Annie Grant is one of our dedicated and friendly greeters here at the Active Life, and we're privileged to have you with us today. Annie, how long have you been greeting?
About 2 months now.
Okay. And what got you interested in being a greeter?
Well, I like to meet peoples. I like to introduce a good smile when somebody's coming in. They let them know that this is a happy place and they are welcome.
Well, every time I walk into the lobby and you're there greeting, you give me a wonderful welcome, and I appreciate you doing that. Do you get something out of it yourself? Does it bring you joy to be able to make somebody feel welcomed?
Yes, it does. I like their smile, and I like to give them a hug if necessary.
Well, great. I know that makes them feel like they're glad to be here when you give them that kind of greeting. So
yes.
Thank you for being a greeter here at the Active Life.
It's a joy to me.
Thank you. We take the safety of our participants very seriously at the Active Life. In fact, we have a committee made up of 6 individuals that compose a safety committee, and they work very hard to be sure that safety is a priority. Lamar Costley is one of the members of that committee. And Lamar, thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
And we try to focus in on the Active Living show regularly about safety, because we're not only concerned about safety here, we're concerned about safety in a person's home also. And Lamar has some things he wants to share today. Tell me what are some concerns that you have with safety at home?
Well, I was thinking about talking about trip hazards.
Oh,
at
trip,
home.
okay.
You know, extension cords, that's one big trip hazard. In our home, I don't use extension cords because of that. Another thing, keep your aisles clean, your halls, keep them clean so you won't be, when you walk through, you won't be tripping over stuff. Just try to not to clutter too much. And also, if you have stairs outside or inside, be sure to use your handrails as you, walk up your stairs. And if you've, if you've gotten a little age on you, you don't walk really well, it may be good to invest in one of those chair rails that goes up.
Chair lifts that
chair
will
lifts,
take you
right,
from one
yes.
level to the next.
Right, and they're not all that expensive. They'll install them in one day, and it does pretty good.
Now, Lamar, you have a history in safety. Where you worked before, that was a big concern. Tell me a little bit about where you retired from and what your role was in the area of safety.
Okay, I retired from Live Oak plant, and I was safety coordinator at Live Oak, and we was really, really on tops with safety over there.
Wow, that's great. And thank you for being a part of the active life to keep our participants safe.
Good, I
Thanks for
enjoy it,
those
Dan.
things. Hey, wanted to mention also to our audience, the 3 fire departments in Troup County all provide a safety checkup at your home where you will open your door, they'll come in and look for trip hazards
Right,
and
yes.
other fire hazards that could be taking place in your home and you're not even realizing it. So I hope you will check into that. We can help set up that here at the Active Life. Thank you for being here, Lamar.
No problem. Thank you.
Donna Bailey is our oil painting instructor here at the Active Life. She's very talented and has a great class that meets on Tuesday and Friday afternoons.
From
Donna,
12 to 4.
12 to 4.
Yes,
All right.
12 to 4.
Well, Donna, thank you for being here today on our show. And we
My
want
pleasure.
to introduce the audience a little bit about your class, what's involved in oil painting. First of all, how does someone become a part of your class?
Well, all they need to do really is show up. Okay. And I'll get them started. If they've never had any experience before, I can get them started and have a lot of fun along the way. And then eventually, after maybe the second painting even,
Okay.
they can actually start on a portrait.
Excellent.
A lot of people are painting portraits of their spouses, their grandchildren,
Okay.
and their kids, and
Okay.
they're having a good time.
Is there a certain level of expertise? Who can participate in this class? What
Absolutely
level of
anybody.
skill?
I'm very, very flexible. I can match what anybody brings in their own talent level, which is my expertise.
Okay.
I don't try to force anybody to do something that they are uncomfortable with, so we have fun that way.
Well, I look into the class, it seems like everybody's having a great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I haven't had any complaints yet.
It seems to me it's somewhat therapeutic.
I think
to
so.
paint.
We chat along the way, which is really good too. And art is always therapeutic. You have to focus on the art, not on yourself. It takes you to different places. Like if you're painting a landscape, you have to go there and be in the landscape in order to really kind of bring that out. So it's very enjoyable as well.
Now, this would be maybe a difficult question, but tell me a little bit about the time frame from the start of an oil painting to completion. Is there any kind of typical time we're talking about of how long it would take them to complete a oil painting?
Usually, the first one out, I run an exercise, which is a landscape. They can complete that in one day.
Wow.
Usually the portraits take a little longer. But ordinarily with the method that I teach, which is a wet-on-wet method, they can get there very quickly and accomplish a finished product quite soon. A couple of 3-4 sessions maybe.
Great, great. Well, I'm so glad you're here and
I'm
a
glad to
wonderful
be here.
group and talented. and they're learning more each day, I know, as they attend. Now, we do have a list of supplies that is needed. They can come back here, and then they can discuss with you the fee structure and all, and it just seems like an amazing opportunity they have to come to the Active Life and learn to develop their artistic skills.
The beginners, if they don't have supplies, we have supplies here. So we'll
Okay.
provide that. And anything that they run short of along the way, we can provide, so.
Well, thank you.
But-
So Tuesday and Friday
Fridays.
afternoons from
Right.
12 to 4.
Absolutely. And do come and try us out.
Thank you.
We would love to see you.
From art teacher to art student, we have another oil painting participant, and this is T. Borders. She's a member of the class that meets on Tuesdays and Fridays. Tell me, T, what do you love about oil painting?
Oh, it's so relaxing, and it gives me a chance to just get away from housework and out in the community. And Donna, the instructor, is just so, she's non-critical. And I don't profess to have any talent, but I enjoy the painting.
Well, I've seen some of the paintings you've done. You were very talented. Tell me some of the types of art that you prefer to paint. Do you have a certain preference of the type of oil paintings that you prefer?
Well, I never thought I could do a portrait, but as soon as I did the first painting that Donna had us to do, which was a landscape, she suggested I do a portrait. So I am doing some family portraits, and I did one of my son when he was in the Navy many years ago. He went to the Mediterranean 4 times, and I had a favorite picture of him, and I did a portrait of him on the ship
Oh, that is
in the
great.
Mediterranean.
Wow.
And it's kind of historical. It'll be something that his family might like to have.
Oh, I think
even though
so.
it's not a grand painting.
Well, I'm sure it has
It
a
reflects the
lot
family.
of special sentimental value as well as just the beauty of it. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Good up, come on. Home run, you got it. There we go. There you go. All right, go.
I know your mother always told you not to throw the ball in the house, but at the Active Life today, we threw the ball in the house, didn't we, Frank?
We certainly did. We had a good time. We had at least 4 teams, I think, which makes 16 people to
Wow.
participate.
This is Frank Pierce. He is a member of our leadership team and coordinates our tournaments. We have about 3 tournaments each month, and today we had indoor baseball.
Yeah.
How many teams did you
We had
have?
4 teams, a total of 16 people.
They go crazy,
They go
don't
crazy
they?
over that. Yeah, they love it. I tell you what, they get really excited. They just feel like they're kids again at the ballpark or something.
Well, it's amazing, the competition, and that was exciting. Thank you for coordinating these tournaments. We, as we mentioned, we do 3 to 4 tournaments a month.
Right.
One of them is always a billiards tournament. They
Right.
compete the first Friday on that.
Mm-hmm.
But we have 2 Thursdays each month that we have at least 2 or 3 more tournaments. So
Mm-hmm.
people need to come out and participate.
You'll feel young again. I get a lot of exercise out of it. I mean, it's really a lot of fun, excitement. You can kind of go back to your childhood days in the way I think about it, you know. But there's a lot to do out here at Active Life, and a lot of activities going on, a lot of wonderful, sweet people out here, and it's just a blessing to be able to come out here.
Well, thank you, Frank, for helping us in our area of tournaments.
Okay.
Take care.
All right.
We surveyed over 100 adults over the age of 55 and asked them what is their favorite place in LaGrange. Eleanor Washington, what is the #1 answer?
The Active Life Center.
The reason I brought that up is the other night we took a group of our participants to see the filming of the Family Feud at the Atlanta Civic Center, and Eleanor attended that. And we also had the opportunity to do what, Eleanor?
Ride the big new Ferris wheel.
Yes, just only open a week, and Eleanor was brave and jumped right on that and had a great time.
It was wonderful.
Well, what? Tell me about your experience at the Family Feud. Was that fascinating?
It was real fascinating. been watching it on television, but it was nothing like being in the company.
Wow. So the host, Steve Harvey, he was funny, telling jokes and all, and they taught us how to clap, and we learned how did you clap? Where are you supposed to clap?
Not in front of your face.
In front of your face, not below, because they say the cameras would not show you if you had your hands too low. But that was some day, and we also ended the day going to the varsity, right?
The Atlanta varsity.
Yeah, and what did you order?
I had hot dog, a naked hot dog.
Okay.
I had onion rings. I had an orange float, and I had a fried apple pie.
Whoa.
And I gained 25 pounds.
Oh. But that's just one of the many trips we have at the Active Life. We travel all over Georgia and parts of Alabama. We also take multi-day trips across the country, even across the ocean. And so don't sit at home on your couch. Get out to the Active Life and get involved in these great trips, right, Eleanor?
Right. We have great trips.
Dr. David Harvey, dermatologist with the Emory Clark Holder Clinic, he and his team are here at the Active Life today providing a free skin cancer screening. Dr. Harvey, thank you for being here today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Want to learn a little bit about you. Where are you originally from? And you've just been here a couple of weeks in LaGrange.
Yeah, absolutely. We love the area. Well, I'm originally from upstate New York, outside of Buffalo, and my wife is from the Birmingham, Alabama area, so this is kind of like closer to her family and gets me access to a direct flight home, 8 of them a day through Atlanta. So we love the area and glad to be here.
Well, welcome to LaGrange.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about older adults in skin.
Sure.
What is important truths or facts that older adults need to remember when it comes to their skin?
Well, the main thing is that as we get older, we're more prone to developing changes of skin mutations and cancer. That occurs because of the chronic UV radiation exposure, which one gradually sees over time. So those sunburns in our 20s and 30s, we kind of pay the reaper down the road with cancers developing. Also, the skin thins with time, so we get problems with fragility, bruising, dryness, and just general concerns with patients as they notice new findings like little barnacles on the skin that are called seborrheic keratoses. All these things can manifest and they become problematic for our patients that are older.
If you were given advice to the older adult population on ways to better treat their skin, what would some advice that you would give them about the care and oversight of their skin?
Sure, a very good question. I think the main thing is to self-monitor the skin, look for non-healing sores or bumps or lumps or moles that are changing in color, size, because those can be indicative of skin cancer, and that's the danger thing with the skin. In terms of a daily thing, I usually recommend moisturizing sunscreens. There are a lot of good ones over the counter now. Try to shoot for at least a 30 SPF and make sure it says broad spectrum. Many moisturizers today have that. And you want to apply these moisturizers after wetting the skin. So the best times after a shower in the morning, pat dry, and then put on your sunscreen moisturizer. And those are things you can do to kind of make sure your skin's doing the right things and not, going to go the wrong path.
Is dryness an issue with older adults in their skin?
Yes, unfortunately it is. Again, the skin has a dynamic change with time, so dryness is very common. Many patients experience leg swelling, and with that they get overlying eczemas and processes that can be muted by the use of daily moisturizers to some degree. And you want to also, like your soaps and things, don't go for the high-end, really expensive perfumey soaps you can buy at retail stores. I would go with super fatted, sort of non-fragrance products. And there are a lot of them that are available over the counter.
Well, let's move now to the serious issue of skin cancer. I know a lot of older adults live alone and might not have other people to notice things that are growing on their back and all that. How often should an older adult see a doctor for a screening to be sure that there aren't any problems with melanoma? What would you recommend in that area?
I think the main thing is to get you in at least one time to be checked. Because I think you can grade the patient's severity and their risks based on one evaluation. And in that context, we'll do a good skin check. We'll look at your scalp. We'll look at your hands and nails. We'll look at your private areas. and ascertain sort of your risk level. And then we can tell you how often to come in. Typically, I usually recommend an annual skin check for most folks. And if they have a lot of skin cancers, we might bring that to every 3 months, you know. So minimum probably a year, year and a half, and then we vary the recommendation based on what we see on our examination.
Excellent. How serious is skin cancer?
You know, it can be very serious. I mean, malignant melanoma is on the rise every year. We're seeing more and more. So in this year, we're thinking over 130,000 people will be afflicted from that. And one person dies about every hour from that disease. So it can be a very troubling thing. The more common skin cancers are your basal cell carcinomas. There's about 2.8 million cancers of those types every year. And the second most common is squamous cell, which again present as non-healing sores or warts that are tender or bleeding. And squamous cell, about 700,000 cases annually this year. So the rising nature of it is due to, I think, the patients being better educated, the fact they're living longer. Many people are living in the South where there's more cumulative sun exposure. And unfortunately, we're seeing more of it, but we're also detecting it earlier too. So that's a good thing.
All right. Now, you mentioned about sunscreen and applying that on your face in the morning after a shower or a bath. What about hats and the clothing that they should wear in Georgia
Absolutely,
weather?
great point. Well, I think your broad hats that are wide, you know, that cover the ears, that's important. They do make some clothing lines that are SPF rated, and they are commercially available online. Usually these are SPF 50 or higher, and they're lightweight, so the materials are really nice now, and they afford us a lot better protection. A typical t-shirt, though, I don't think that's sufficient enough. Like a white cotton t-shirt, you might only get an SPF of 8 with that, and if you perspire, it's going to even go down to about a 4. So sweat on the t-shirts can make it more permeable. So if you're going to do that, wear sunblock underneath. And like I said, go for more of these better types of products that are available online at your golf shops. You know, some of the high-end stores also have them, but ask if they're SPF rated. Usually they'll have a little signal on it or a little tag on it.
Excellent.
So.
Excellent. Now, you mentioned about the thinning of the skin and the bruising. What can an individual do to protect themselves against skin tearing or bruising?
I think just being aware that it doesn't take much and just to be careful. Hydration is the main thing, as I mentioned, the moisturizers. Wearing SPF products is important. You know, if somebody's really prone to it, I might have them wear the lightweight, longer sleeves just to give them some protection too. And just to mind themselves, because it could be getting out of a car, it could be walking into a chair that creates the bruise, and that by itself isn't a problem. But if the skin starts to tear and it's breached, you can get a little concerned at that point, because then you're sort of setting up a situation where they can get infections. So we just want to mind ourselves of those things. And remember, you know, as we get older, just to be aware of those things and to try to be more diligent about our environment and what we're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Dr. Harvey, thank you for you and your team being here at the Active Life
pleasure.
today, helping our seniors remain healthy and active.
Thank you.
We're so excited to welcome Celeste Garrett, our newest staff member. She is going to coordinate the area of health and wellness at the Active Life. Celeste, thank you for being here at the Active Life.
Well, I'm so excited, Dan. You know, Georgia's aging, and that is our latest trend we have today. And we want to live well, and we want to age well. And I think Active Life is the perfect place to do that. You know, Georgia's number 5 in the nation for aging 60 and over. So the doors are going to always be going in and out here, and people are going to be coming in, and we're already seeing that. We're seeing a vast population, an increase in our census here at Active Life.
Wow. Now, we, of course, have many different fitness programs, but you're providing 2 classes that help older adults age successfully. Tell us about those 2 classes.
Well, the 2 classes we have going now is the Healthy Lifestyle class, and that's just teaching you how to eat right, how to have good nutrition every day, your portion sizes, and we do a lot of field trips, trying to do one a month. Fixing to go to the Georgia Farmers Market Saturday. That's going to be fun. So we go around to the different farms, learn about local agriculture and how to eat well. Second class we have is the 90-day challenge. Now, the 90-day challenge is 90-day weight loss and nutrition. And in the last 2 classes, we've had over 50 people that have participated and lost up to 450 pounds total. But every member of this class has lost up to 10 pounds and lowered their BMI. So that's what's so important for the
Excellent, excellent. Well, you've been teaching these classes for a while, and we're so glad you're a part of the team at the Active Life. Now, one thing that Celeste is working on, and we're working, is getting funding. We've got 3 months of funding.
correct.
But we believe that this is vital for Troup County, and we hope to get grants and other sources of fund to keep this going and even expand it to all of Troup County beyond just the Active Life.
That's correct. And we have here in Troup County, we have over 8,000 participants now that are 60 and over. They're projecting that 66% increase. So we need to be able to find ways to fund this program and find ways to provide the services that we have here.
Well, we're so glad to have you here
I
at the
love
Active
it.
Life. and
Thank you.
We look forward to all the wonderful programs we'll see.
Thank you.
I'm Doris Purley. I'm Director of Exercise here at the Wellness Center. And today I'm going to show you some exercises that stress balance. We know that older people have a problem with their balance, and this is something that we really need to work on. So I'm going to show you some of the things we do in class. You need to hold on at first, but as you get better, hopefully you can do these without holding on. So you kick to the right or to the left. We do 10 repetitions. I'm going to shorten it just for space. To the back. And it's good to wear different shoes. You need to wear it with more support. I didn't think about that. And to the front. Do the same with the other leg. If you need to hold on, do that. And hopefully, as you do more and more exercises, you won't have to hold on. All right, we're going to kick across the front. This time we're going to stand on your right foot and just make little circles with the left one. And reverse. This is just some of the exercises we do. We've got a great exercise program. Thank you for watching, and come out and join us and be healthy.
In the morning, and you can't go in the afternoon
Ah.
unless you're on chemo.
That's very valuable information. These ladies have been here all morning, and there's so much going on here at the Active Life. You need to come on out, check it out. Have a great day.